Greetings. Welcome to practice today. Welcome to your body, to your mat, to this brand new moment never lived before. Please take any movements or props, whatever supports you need to be at ease in a seat for a bit. And then find yourself feet connected to the earth or whatever supports, pressing down. Sits bones connected to the earth, your supports, rooting down. Press into what supports you. Root down and really feel yourself held and supported in this moment. Sense into your connection to earth in the way that you are part of this beautiful planet right now, affected by the weather, the cycles of nature, the cycles of the moon, the seasons, and an even bigger cosmic turning that we seem to still be in. Revelation after revelation of us looking at ourselves and the world, as uncomfortable as it might be so often. Waking up with that to what needs to change. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming, these big changes that need to happen. Often the big changes can feel really overwhelming. So, what we are invited to do as we take pause in what we'll focus on in our practice here today is to break things down into the smaller little movements, the little steps, the thoughts, all the little things that may seem like they don't matter so much, but indeed, every thought that repeats itself matters. Every shift in perspective matters. Every one action we take or thing we say makes a difference in how we experience things, likely in how someone else experiences things. And it's much, much easier and more realistic to get things done when we do break them down into little tiny steps, little tiny components where we notice everything. Not today, I need to create this big thing, but today, in order to create or move towards creating a big thing, I need to go to the closet and get this out, go to the store and get that out. I need to clear space for it. All the little steps along the way. And so we'll look at what that looks like in our practice and really embody moving slowly in all the nodal points in our transitions, as well as the tinier movements in the physical form that tone the muscles, that activate the smaller muscles, that support the body in being able to make bigger movements. And as usual, we'll see, whether or not consciously, whether or not with words, how the cueing and the practice of yoga reads across to the yoga of life, the way that life works. Notice your breath now, if you will. Notice the necessity of letting go, and that pause after you do, where the turnaround just happens. The breath comes pouring back in how life wants to life itself through you. How when there is space made, life will move into it, fresh, new life, opportunity for new beginning. And with that, let's take small movements for the neck today, if you will. Keep your heart lifted and bring your chin to your solar plexus. Or no, that's deep. Bring your chin just to your sternum or your clavicular notch down the center of your collarbone. And, and then slowly lift your chin towards the sky. So we're just saying a big yes or a small yes, as you will, to this day. Moving slowly and incrementally. Notice where the muscles are working and where and if there's a sensation of dropping. Notice the edges and where things are tight and just the different energy of turning in. You could also move your eyes with this. And again, go very slowly. You can experience how when we look down, the nervous system tends to calm. And when we look up, the nervous system tends to activate. And these two ends of the visual range and the way we're looking are also associated with neurochemicals of when we look down, more that feeling of home or relaxation, and the neurochemical of oxytocin. Whereas when we look up, dopamine, inspiration, moving out towards something. And so, whatever you want to take from all of that, just playing with the movements of the eyes and the head, another breath or two. And play with that as you like. When you're ready, we'll give a little no to this day and turn your head slow and steady as far to one side as you can without forcing at all. Like just go to the comfortable edge of the range. We'll do more. So just let it be interesting to notice where things kind of grip as you turn to the side, where it feels like, that's a comfortable edge. And we'll slowly move back to the other side and look with your head and your eyes now. Look as far back as the eyes feel comfortable. And again, just notice if that range has changed from visiting again, or from the eyes looking further back. And stay with that as you like, or a big maybe to this day. Head over to one side if you'd like. Fingertips could come out wide to the floor and soften your jaw. And again, slow and steady to see where the stickiness is there this morning. It will keep changing. And just warming ourselves up for slow, smaller, more mindful movements today. Again, here you might play with your eyes and look up and over at angles and down and over at angles as the head invites you to, or even the opposite way the head's going. Move slowly and play with it. Most importantly, we're just getting that whole range of vision and really trying to break any patterns in the mind with that. That'll just happen when we really expand our range of vision. Our minds and our hearts tend to get contracted and fixated. We're just inviting some expansion today by way of little steps. And stay with that as you like, or begin to draw and center small, small circles with your nose, like a quarter. And see if you can just feel your skull on the atlas or the top of your spine. Maybe you bring your hands to your body and feel your breath. Let's take the sound of Om into its primary parts today. And of course, with all movements, with all apparent opposites or poles or ends of a pendulation, there are many microtones, micro movements in the middle. So even as we have three primary sounds of Om, there are so many microtones in there. So we'll start with the ah anyways. Drop the jaw, open throat, long ah, exhale and empty. Inhale your heart, try to vibrate your heart. And breathe into your belly. Imagine an open round tube from your belly up through your throat. Try to sing down into your belly. See if you can vibrate the belly. A little harder than the heart, but possible. Big, round, open O. Any note. I like to go low. Play as you like. Sorry, I could hear that was getting distorted in the mic. I imagine that didn't sound good. All right, and we'll bring awareness up into the third eye center, the crown of the head, the Brahmarandra, and bee's breath or Brahmari. As usual, with all your tones, but especially Brahmari, you could lift from deep core, navel, tip of the tongue for most tones, and eyes to the third eye center, trying to vibrate that pineal gland really in the center of your head. Exhale and empty. Inhale to there, your yes. And let's float the hands down. Take your time, make your way slowly to come and lie on your back. Hug your knees in. Take any movements or supports that you need to be at ease lying on your back. So, as we move through the small movements today, and as dancers and yogis, we might be used to and even want to make really big movements. And this may be the same thing showing up in our lives. But often what's needed are very small movements. The attention to the minutiae. And so I just want to acknowledge that you may feel at some point or the whole time some kind of irritability or impatience. And that's totally normal. And it's actually good because what we're doing here in this is a little repatterning, some learning. And that feeling in this case is often acetylcholine or a neurochemical that creates neuroplasticity. So we actually kind of want that feeling and to be able to sit with it. So let's first extend the legs out on the floor and just let your arms rest on the floor. Breathe your body, let your body land. Go ahead and take a big, big breath. Inhale, and as you exhale, make like I'm just going to slip a piece of paper under your head and lift the head just a tiny bit. And I just like my paper blew away in the wind. Please hold it. I'll be right there. Okay, just hold it. Let it go. Inhale, exhale, and just lift the head again. I got another sheet of paper. And relax. And one more time. And relax. Slowly turn your head as far as you easily can to one side. And back through center. Slowly turn your head as far as you can to the other side. And back to center. Excuse me. And let's again pick up the feet here. Hug your knees in. I'll start with the legs up high. And we'll flex the feet. Draw the toes back and then point the toes to the sky, and just a few more. As you need to bend and straighten the legs as well to wake up the hamstrings if this is a lot for the hams first thing in the morning. And then go ahead and bend the knees. You can interlace the hands behind the head and hold the head just that tiny bit off the earth or keep the head down. Notice as you lift the head though, that likely you feel the core kick in there. So we're going to go a little bit of Pilates here. So we're going to just go and tap down one set of toes, bring the knee back. Exhale, tap down the other set of toes and bring the knee back. Navel pulls back. Switching with the breath. Exhale, navel pulling back. Head can rest as it needs, or maybe even curl up a little more. You could get the shoulder blades up. If shaking starts, yay, that's a good thing. We'll keep the shaking. We'll push through it just a little bit. As we wake up, new neurons or smaller fibers in the muscles, smaller muscles even. And go ahead and release down. And let's extend the legs out on the earth. And then pick one heel up. If you'd like to, slowly reach the fingers and your head towards it. And slowly melt back down. Inhale as you exhale, navel back, pull the other heel up. Inhale as you exhale, slowly reach your fingertips and your head towards that lifted leg. Lay on down. Inhale, shoulders on the back. Exhale, pull the right leg into the core and slowly lift it up, 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 about halfway to 90. Up, 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 coming all the way to 90 or wherever your leg could get to. Bend the leg as needed. Let's inhale the arms up overhead and exhale, reach past your toes as you pull the navel back. Little pulsations. If you want to make it harder, you can float the other leg. Otherwise, keep it resting. Navel back, little pulses. Couple more. Slowly roll the head and shoulders back down. Slowly lower that leg towards the earth, about halfway down. Slowly, slowly, slowly lower, just a few inches away. Slowly, slowly lower, keeping the core engaged, and the leg down. Big inhale, and exhale, second side, lift that heel just a few inches. Slow and steady, little tiny incremental movement. Notice the lower back might want to pop. Keep pulling the navel back and just keep the natural low back curve about halfway there. Slowly, 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 moving towards 90 or your edge. Again, bend as you need to. Reach the arms up overhead, inhale. Exhale, slow and steady, curl head and shoulders up and reach past the toes, pulling the navel back, 10. Other leg could float. Take your time, roll the head and shoulders back down. Slowly, slowly, slowly lower that left leg back down. About halfway, more than halfway. Slowly. I am a fast moving, big movement person. I just really want to say that in case you don't know that already. This is really hard for me, and I can feel its benefits. All the core work happening already. Squeeze your legs together and have your upper body in any way that keeps the head and shoulders rooted in a good way at first. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lift the heels, couple inches. Lift the heels, couple inches more. Couple more. Couple more. 5 more to the top. Actually, might have another 1 or 2 to get to the top. And legs straight up or thereabouts. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach past your toes, navel back, and pulse for 10. Little reaches. Curl the tailbone up. Lift the sacrum. Just 3 more. Interlace the hands behind the head. Rest your head. Inhale as you exhale. Squeeze the legs. Slowly lower down. Just about halfway. Hold halfway. Lift head and shoulders up. Inhale, lay down. Exhale, lower about 2/3 of the way. Hold 2/3. Stay resting in the upper body or head and shoulders up. 3. Whew. Lay down. Oh gosh, if you need to, you can land the legs. I'm trying to go 1 more. I'm trying to go just about 6 inches or so from the earth and hold and curl. Oh, all right. Step the feet in. Take whatever break you need to get breathful again. Oh, yeah, that burned. Did someone say fire today? Yep, we got a little fire in the belly. Beginning. We're just beginning. So when you're ready, feel free to bridge up and stretch out all that toning. Give it a nice balance there. Make your big moves while you can. Squeeze your shoulders on the back. Squeeze your glutes. Lift your hips. Lift your chin. Breathe and puff up your chest. Inhale, soften your glutes down a bit. Exhale, squeeze your glutes and come to the top of your range. Keep the chin lifting. At the top of the range, soften the glutes a bit. Squeeze and lift back up. Soften, squeeze, pulsing, little tiny pulses. Tiny pulses. Reset your bridge as needed. When you're ready, we're going to draw the right knee in towards your chest, right leg up to the sky. Inhale, slow and steady, lower the leg just until the two thighs are parallel. Inhale, pull that foot back to the sky, lift up. Exhale, lower till the two thighs are parallel. Let's do 3 more of those. Land the feet, squeeze, reset. When you're ready, left knee in towards your chest, foot to the sky. Inhale, pull up from that foot. Exhale, slow and steady, whole length of the exhale. Lower till two parallel thighs. Follow your inhale, lift the heel up, lift your hips up. Exhale, two parallel thighs. With your breath, slow and steady, long breaths, 3 more. Feet down, release the hands, and lower down. Big breaths. And just because we have to do this every day, step your feet as wide as your mat, stretch the arms up overhead, and inhale, reach both knees to one side as you exhale. Pull navel back, knees through center. Inhale, knees to the other side, stretch it out, and exhale back through center. Of course, pause wherever you need to. Notice you're getting a little massage in the hips, the glutes that you just toned. The opening in the front of the hips, quads, psoas, core you just toned. Big breaths. Take your time, last breath or two in that way, unless your body says otherwise. And then go ahead and keep the feet really wide. We're going to take a weird bridge here. So wide feet and bridge on up. You know where we're going. Any variations with the arms that keep the shoulders pinned and where you're able to lift your chest and chin. So you might clasp the hands again if you'd rather take a different hold or shape. And when you're ready, squeeze and lift up to the top of that wide-legged bridge. Inhale, soften your glutes down just a bit, and then squeeze, lift at the top. Release and squeeze, lift at the top. Let's go now for 10. There it is. Take your time. Slow and steady unwind. Articulate the spine down. If you'd like, you could bring the feet together now for a little more glute massage. And we'll go side to side, just a few more breaths each side. And as inspired, we are going to make our way through onto hands and knees. So you're welcome to just roll over and find your way there, or go big. Cross your ankles and rock and roll until you're inspired to roll over the feet and onto your hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide under the shoulders, claw the fingertips, and pulse. Little lift, wrists up and down, wrist and ridge tops up and down. Pulsing the hands, making strong hands. Pulsing in and out. Little lifts, little lifts, little lifts. Just a few more. And then we're going to turn thumbs pointing up, fingers out to the side. Claw the fingertips and pulse. Wrists up. Ridge tops can stay down or play with them lifting up as well. You'll feel how that's a different action. Oh yeah, and then you might want to take a break and roll your wrists out. My wrists wanted that. Or shake them out, shake your hands out. When you're ready, back to the hands and knees. Pull hands and knees towards one another. Feel that small but really powerful movement that plugs everything into the core here. Really feel ears in line with shoulders, ribs in line with hips. You could step the left knee a bit to the midline as you like and pull your right knee into your chest and try to tap knee to nose for 5. And then push that foot to the sky without letting the low ribs or waist drop out. Push that foot as high to the ceiling as you can, and then pulse here, little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, keep the ribs and hips really connected. Push that heel straight back and pulse. Little tiny leg lifts for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, leg out to the side and pulse, lifting little lifts. And knee into the nose, step the foot forward. You could come onto your fingertips or onto blocks as needed. And we're going to pulse here, heel up and back down. Heel up and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And heel up or down, it's up to you. Back knee up and heart forward and little pulses into that back knee, bending and pressing out through the heel. Gentle bend and press out through the heel for 5. Inhale as you exhale, pull from the cord, step that front foot back, down to the knees, down to the palms. Any movements there, just feel into what you're doing, how things feel a little different with all those micro movements. Make the hands strong, core strong, plug everything in, find neutral. Again, as needed for stability, the right knee could step in a bit. Bring the left knee to the nose and little taps knee to nose for 5. And align ears, shoulders, ribs, hips. Press that left foot up to the sky. Find the top edge of your range there. And then keep the navel lifting. Kick the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7. Leg straight back behind you. Leg lifts for 10. Again, knit the ribs and hips together. Try not to let the lower back drop out. 7, 6. Leg out to the side. Whee! And knee into the nose. Lift and land the foot forward. Again, find fingertips or blocks and pulse up. Lift that front heel up and back down, pulse. And again for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shoulders down the back, heart forward, back leg back, toes under. And again, pulse, reach through the heel and heart. Slowly melt it down just a bit, reach. Take your time, big inhale. Exhale, step back. Let's come into downward dog. Claw your fingertips. Relax the neck. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, slide the scapula towards the hips and reach your head towards the hands. Inhale, slide. Exhale, slide. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, slide. Last two. And claw those fingertips, keep the hands strong. Pull hips back, lift to tiptoes, and back to the heels. Maybe even lift your toes. Lift heels, maybe lift toes, and pulse. Three more. Slow and steady. Begin, let the feet root and land as much as you can. And begin to bend the elbows and scoop them towards each other, towards center. And with that, the shoulders wrap away from the ears. And you can play with that, kind of flap your wings for a moment. Let the elbows go wide and then scoop them in. Scoop the elbows in, roll them towards each other, roll the shoulders away. And now bend the elbows a tiny bit more. Keep scooping elbows towards each other, shoulders away from the ears. Slowly bend the elbows a tiny bit more. We're not undoing the elbows now. We're slowly deepening the bend. Scoop the elbows, bend them a tiny bit more. So eventually your elbows are going to be hovering off of the earth about an inch or two. Keep pulling back from the hips, scooping the elbows. Hover again to where you're shaking. Again, shaking good as we're waking up new muscles. Pushing through too much shaking can be not so good. So we just let that happen a little bit. And then pull back from your hips and core and bend the knees slowly, 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 slowly bend the knees. Slowly bend your knees, hovering above the earth. And as needed, go ahead and land your knees. Let's bring the hands back behind you. And let's clasp the hands. Pull on the clasp of the hands. Lift your hips to the sky. Bring the crown of the head to the earth. You can walk the knees so they're under your hips. Pull on the clasp of the hands and lift them up to the sky. And then slowly overhead to the earth. Pull on the clasp of the hands. Squeeze. Lift them up to the sky. And slowly overhead towards the earth. Pulse for 5. Breathe here. Keep the toes curled under. Pull from your hands, roll on up to sit on your heels and spread your toes out. Wake up your feet. Let's take some nice strong breaths here. So go big for a moment. Inhale, arms up, tongue to chin, eyes to the sky, from your feet to the sky. Lion's breath. Squeeze the elbows and shoulders together. Squeeze the navel back. 4 more. And unwind. Give your toes a little tap out. Walk your forearms out and step your feet back. Forearm plank. Hold forearm plank. 5 breaths. 4 more. Slowly lower your hips to the earth. Make your legs strong. Pull with your forearms. Drag your heart forward. Keep pushing into pubic bone. Lengthen out. Breathe here. Deep, full breaths. Press into the hands. Lift the elbows slowly. Maybe come up a little higher to whatever edge is there. And then drag the heart forward and slide your hands back. Again, make the legs strong, keep them that way. Press into pubic bone and sacrum. Pull with your hands, elbows, and shoulders down the back. Hug the legs in. Push into pubic bone and sacrum and unwind your spine. Rolling slowly open into Cobra. And turn, look right. And turn, look left. Again, each side moving slowly. And lengthen out center, lower down. Interlace the hands on your sacrum. You can let the head rest a moment and push your sacrum down. Push your pubic bone into earth. Squeeze the shoulders on the back and then pull up and back with the hands, slow and steady. Anchor the fulcrum of your sacrum again and keep pulling up and back from the hands. And breathe to whatever breathful edge is right for you there. If you'd like to, float the legs. 2 more breaths. And slowly release and lower down. Again, rest your head and let's interlace the hands behind the base of the skull. Trail the thumbs down the neck. Make your legs strong. Again, that fulcrum of your sacrum pressing down strong. And open the elbows out to the sides and press the head back into the hands to lift the chest without forcing. So really, you can feel the back of the neck there. Don't close it. Just keep a nice graceful arch there as you press back. No compression of the vertebrae there. In little pulses. Again, this is a very little movement. Press into the legs and pubic bone, sacrum to support you. Move with the breath, little pulses. Head into the hands. Elbows are lifting. Working the shoulders together on the back. Let's go 5 more. Release down. Open up Cobra. Back to child's pose. Inhale, stretch it back, strong core, long spine. Exhale, lift from the navel when you're ready. Come into downward dog. Spend a little more time there if you need it. Nice counter pose for the lower back. Once you come into down dog, bend the knees and pull hips back to the heels and then straighten the legs. We'll do a couple more of those. Whole length of the breath. Exhaling slow and steady, tuck deeply. Inhale, straighten out. And pull back from the core in down dog, relax the neck. Inhale, grow your right leg slow and steady up and back to the sky. Exhale, slow and steady, bend that knee and draw it into your chest. Curl in, lift the knee as high as you can and so you shift forward into a plank pose. And right here, we're going to draw little circles with that knee. Knee is hovering, lift it high as you can. You're in plank, but a rounded plank, and drawing circles. Knee as high as you can. Switch directions. Little circles. And let's step the foot forward between the hands. Find your breath in your lunge down low. When you're ready, hug in and rise up. Hands to hips, square up. Root down, lengthen up. Feel your breath. Hands could stay on hips, heart flying, props if you need. We're going to move from our lunge, high lunge, into warrior three. Again, I want this to be incremental, so try not to use momentum here, but shift forward. Slow and steady, pour the weight into the front leg. Slow and steady, lift the back foot into the core. Warrior three. Bend the top knee, press it to the sky. And again, little kicks to the ceiling. You could keep going with that if you like, or just hold it. And tiny, tiny, tiny little bends and straightens of the front leg, like 10 to 15 degrees of your total bend. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going back where we came from. Slowly extend the leg. Slowly shift the weight into the back foot. Square up, hug in, rise up. When you're ready, arms up. Squeeze to center. Bend the back knee as much as you need to and tilt your tailbone down. Lift your navel up and find any breathful edge of back bend. And again, you can bend the knee as much as you need to. Find that little micro movement of scooping tailbone down to lift navel, lift heart. Open out, warrior two. Big inhale as you exhale, heels in, toes out, cross over and sink in. Devyasana. Heels up, pulse. Heels down. Heels up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels out, arms out. Superstar. Big move amidst it all, celebrating all the little moves. Full body breath. Can you feel that like integrity of all the connections really lit up, all these smaller movements and their effect? And let's roll through the wrists. Inhale, arms up. Give your hips a little swing if you like. And then float the arms down. Clasp the hands. Inhale, open heart. Hug the earth with your feet. Spin thighs back and slow and steady bow in. Arms to the sky, head down, or rest here. You could release the hands down the back if you like. Little massage on the lower back, your hips, your legs. Hold anywhere legs or earth behind you and draw your spine long. Bow in and rest. And let's walk towards the front foot, pivoting it, pivot up on the ball of the back foot, pull the feet together, squeeze to the core, feel that crucial little movement there, claw the fingertips, and keep that hug to center. So ideally that front foot feels buoyant, and let's open the leg out to the side. And slow and steady, step on back, plank pose. Inhale, strong core, long spine, shift forward. Exhale, lower slowly as you can to earth or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Any little movements there. If you need to, come back to child's pose to rest or move back to down dog. Pull back from the core, relax the neck. Claw the fingertips. Bend the elbows and scoop them towards center as you wrap the shoulders away from the ears. Bend the elbows a tiny bit more. Scoop them towards center as you wrap them away from the ears. Pause until you're hovering with the elbows an inch or two from the earth. Pause as long as you can there and bend the knees and pull the hips back and slowly bend the knees. Keep pulling the hips back and bend the knees a little more till you're hovering there. All the way down to the earth. Flow the arms back, come to rest. Child's pose. You could hold the hands on the back if you want. As you're ready to interlace your hands, pull the clasp of the hands up to the sky. Turn the toes under or not. Pull the hands up, squeeze shoulders together, and then work the clasp of the hands overhead. Pull up, squeeze, and hands overhead. A few more pulsing. Tiny pulses. And pull back from the hands, slow and steady. Roll up to sit on the heels, toes under. Stretch your feet out. Same thing. Inhale, arms up. Big lion's breath. Last one. Excuse me. Come on forward to your forearms. Step your feet back, forearm plank. Hold 5 breaths. Slowly lower your hips down. Open up in Sphinx. Drag your heart forward. Push into pubic bone. Lengthen your spine. Breathe here. And as inspired, press into the hands. Lift the elbows. Drag your heart forward. Lower down. Interlace the hands behind the head. Hug the legs together and press strongly into them. Lift your elbows up towards the sky and press the head back into the hands for 10. Melt back down with your breath. 8. 5. And hands down, shoulders on the back. Open up. Exhale up and back. Downward dog. Claw those fingertips, pull back from the core. Slowly grow your left leg up and back to the sky. Bend the knee. Slow and steady. Pull that knee in towards center as you shift forward into a rounded plank. Lift the knee high and draw some circles here. A few more in this direction. Switch directions. 3. Bring the foot forward. Land your foot lunge. Pull the feet together. Squeeze in, hug in, strong core, and rise on up. Take your time, hands to hips. Square up as you root down, lengthen up. Breathe to sky. And keep pulling the inner thighs together. Again, you could bend the back knee a lot and tilt the pelvis. Scoop the tailbone down. Lift the navel. Lift your heart. And you could reset that again and again. Tilt pelvis and lift the navel. And find your breathful edge of back bend. Inhale big and bright. As you exhale, slowly shift and pour the weight into the front foot. Pull the back foot into the core. Bend the top knee to the sky. Push that foot to the ceiling and kick the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tiny little bends and straightens of the standing leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale and step way back, high lunge. Open out, warrior two. Inhale, breathe your warrior two. Exhale, heels in, toes out, cross the arms over. Sink in, knees and toes pointing the same way. Drop towards the height of the knees and lift heels. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Parallel your feet, arms out, superstar. Squeeze all your muscles to the bones. Hug into center and breathe your body bright. And stay there as you like, or spiral the wrist. Swing your hips, just find some freedom in your body for a moment. Whatever movements feel good. And as inspired, clasp your hands, open heart, powerful feet, heart forward and bow in. Relax your neck. And again, any movements here or stillness in your forward fold. Let's take 5 or 6 breaths there just to listen to your body. Feel free to dance and wiggle or just rest and breathe and sense your body. Options. You can move from that forward fold straight through to sit, or walk your hands towards your front foot and move through a vinyasa or 3. What? Yes, a vinyasa or 3. Just plank, lowering down, up dog, down dog. Moving with your breath and the way that feels right for you before we come to sit. And take your time, make your way to sit. All right, so we're going to come into a seated twist. So lift your hips as you need to. Bring the right foot to stand over the left leg. Hug into that right knee. Lift the heart. Ground down into your sits bones and find the fullness of your breath. And try to keep both sits bones as evenly rooted as you can and your heart lifted. We're going to follow our pattern of micro movements today and find that for our twist. So inhale the arms up and then exhale, bend the elbows, pull the scapula together. Keep squeezing to midline and lift, lift, lift from that midline, lift and spiral, lift and spiral. You've got 26 vertebrae. So we're moving from the lowest vertebrae first, low belly, low back together, and then middle vertebrae, which are the tightest usually, upper and upper and upper, and head turns last. Eventually, that left elbow will get near the knee and press in and lengthen up, and the neck and the head and the eyes turn last. Find your edge and breathe at your breathful edge. If it feels like there's any strain, just unwind it a bit and come to where the breath feels easy. Please stay as you like or follow any inhale to lift tall and unwind and counter twist or open twist. Stay upright or bow in and press your hips back. And take your time and drape on up and stack your knees up. If you'd like to, you could stack up ankle and knee in the square Agni Stambhasana or fire log stack shape. Otherwise, stack your knees as you are. Pull onto that top knee. Again, try to wiggle evenly into both sits bones. Relax your mouth. Stay there. You could add Gomukhasana arms, or I'm going for the big hug here at the end. Right arm over left. Cross the arms over as far as you can. Maybe grab your shoulders or scapula, a little free massage moment. Or just pull the arms down, ground into the chest. Breathe here. Stay receiving that hug. You can move the hug forward to the knees, or maybe spiral eagle arms, lift them up, elbows up, and reach the elbows to or over the knees and rest your head. Please stay longer there as you like. Unwind slowly. You could just switch the cross of your legs. Go back, hands on either side of the front foot, top foot that is. Press in. You can take a little swing, little sway, little wiggle out there. And when you're ready, just keep walking the direction you're going. Full circle. Second side twist. Hug that top knee in. Wiggle into sit bones. Lift your heart. Soften your mouth. Try to, again, get as evenly into sits bones as you can. Lift from the heart. And we'll inhale, arms up. Pull the elbows and shoulders down and together. Squeeze them on the back. Sense your breath into your lower back. Lengthen and squeeze low belly and low back towards one another. Try to spin from the lowest 26 vertebrae first. Keep lifting the chest, lifting up through the elbows, lifting one vertebra at a time, spiraling one facet joint at a time over the next. Noticing those stickier parts in the middle back, upper back, where you're easily able to just hook because you're there already, and then root down into all those points, lengthen, 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 and slow and steady spiral through the neck and the eyes. And deep breaths. Stay with that as you like, or follow your breath to unwind and counter twist. Long, long spine. Stay upright or bow in, press your hips back. And drape up and stack your knees. And find yourself settling into your sits bones again here. Soft mouth. Stay with that as you like, or big hug. Left arm on top. Cross the arms over, walk back, maybe a little palpation around the scapula. Maybe pull down and ground the weight of your arms into your chest. See if you can sense how nervous system relaxing that is. Ooh, modify your pose as you need to. My hip again. Once that right leg straight. Stay here. Maybe reach forward from the elbow to the knees, elbows to the knee, whatever is right for you. Or spiral eagle arms, elbows up, shoulders down, hands away from that, head to wherever you can rest. Maybe that's in the hands. Please stay with that as long as that's right for you, or just unwind, extend your legs. And that could be wide legs or legs together. And I invite you into any forward fold or dandasana or tall seat that feels right for you, where there's some breathful action in the legs and a place to rest with ears in line with shoulders, wherever that is. Whether you give your head a support or sitting upright. And breathe your body. Please stay in the forward fold as you like. You could drape through to a meditative seat or all the way through to Shavasana, lying on your back. Find a place to end our practice together. Ideally, you get a little bit of both, a little bit of meditation and a little bit of lying down in final resting shape. Find what's right for you right now. Moving slowly, supporting yourself in a good way so that you can really melt and relax. And as you come to rest, maybe you inhale and give all your muscles a squeeze, 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 squeeze. Big inhale, sip, and then melt, melt, and melt. Notice if there are any talkative areas. Maybe again you give them a little squeeze and an exaggeration of whatever's going on there. And then you melt and relax. I encourage you to stay resting or in meditation as long as you're able. If you are here on the live video and you need to end at 11:30, just know that you have 2 minutes and melt as completely as you can. And then bring the breath back, slow and steady into its fullness. And wherever you're at, let the breath lead you to what's next. And while you rest, just observe the breath in the body. Notice if you've befriended any new areas, if there's any little new awakenings, what warmth is present in your body, what aliveness. Listening to the breath. Let the breath lead you when it's the right time to the one next movement, the one next step forward into your day, the one little point of attention as you move forward into the big, wide rest of your life. Thank you so much for your presence and your practice. Namaste.